When exploring the formidable nature of castles and their near impenetrable designs, it's essential to delve into the concept of castle defense design. At its core, castle defense design refers to the strategic and architectural considerations implemented in medieval castles to thwart invaders and protect inhabitants. These designs were revolutionary for their time, employing ingenious methods to maximize security while leveraging natural and man-made features to create formidable obstacles for attackers. The significance of understanding castle defense design lies in its remarkable influence on historical warfare and architectural evolution. Castles played pivotal roles as power symbols and military strongholds, shaping the political and social landscapes of their eras. The sheer effectiveness of their designs ensured the survival of communities and safeguarded territories for centuries. One prime example of castle defense design is the inclusion of concentric walls, a hallmark of many formidable castles. The concept involved building multiple layers of walls, each one stronger and higher than the last, to exhaust and dishearten advancing forces. The Krak des Chevaliers in Syria exemplifies this approach, with its robust double-wall system and strategically placed towers, making it an almost unconquerable fortress. Another example is found in the moats surrounding castles like the Bodiam castle in England. These water-filled defenses not only hindered enemy approach, but also limited the use of siege equipment, creating a substantial barrier that deterred aggressors. Support for castle defense design stems from its evident success in the historical context. Many historians and military experts commend these strategies as precursors to modern defensive architecture, appreciating their complexity and effectiveness in their time. However, potential challenges to this concept include the immense resources and labor required for construction and maintenance, often straining the economies of medieval societies. Moreover, the emergence of gunpowder and artillery eventually rendered many traditional designs obsolete, marking a significant shift in military tactics. Castle defense design is intrinsically linked to the broader topic of how castles were strategically engineered. The defensive elements not only provided security, but also influenced other aspects, such as the layout of living quarters and storage facilities, ensuring they functioned cohesively within the fortified environment. This integration underscores the ingenuity of medieval architects and military strategists who crafted these stone titans with considerations of both martial prowess and domestic needs in mind. Understanding these designs offers valuable insights into the interplay between architecture and history, highlighting how innovation and adaptation marked the evolution of fortification techniques throughout centuries. Foundational elements of castle architecture refer to the core principles and structural components that make castles formidable fortresses, nearly impossible to invade. These elements include design features such as walls, moats, and towers, which were meticulously constructed to deter or defeat would-be invaders. The significance of these foundational elements lies in their ability to transform castles into impregnable strongholds, crucial for the survival and power of those within during medieval times. Understanding these elements provides insight into the historical importance of castles as both military structures and symbols of authority. One prime example of foundational castle architecture is the concentric design, utilized in castles like the Krak des Chevaliers in Syria. This design features multiple layers of defensive walls, allowing defenders to retreat inward while maintaining protection, creating sequential barriers an enemy must overcome. Another notable example is the use of a moat, as seen in the Tower of London. Moats serve as water-filled barriers that hinder attackers and prevent tunneling beneath walls. These elements not only exemplify the ingenuity in castle design, but also illustrate their critical role in medieval warfare. Opinions on the efficacy and artistry of these designs often highlight the remarkable engineering skills of the era. Scholars appreciate how castle builders employed limited technology to craft advanced defensive structures that could withstand significant siege tactics. However, challenges and controversies do exist, such as the significant resources required for construction and maintenance. Critics might argue that the sheer expense and labor involved in building such grandiose fortifications could have been allocated to more directly beneficial projects for the populace. Moreover, some contend that castles, while nearly invincible, were not entirely foolproof. Social strategies like betrayals or cutting off supplies often circumvented their physical defenses. Nevertheless, these foundational elements have a lasting legacy, influencing modern military architecture and strategies that prioritize robust, multi-layered defense systems. Connecting with other aspects of castle defense, these foundational elements interact synergistically with additional features like strategic location choice and active defensive measures such as archer slots and murder holes. Together, they create a cohesive fortress design aimed at deterring any form of aggression effectively. Understanding foundational elements not only enlightens us about medieval life, but also enhances our appreciation of historical military strategies that still resonate in modern defense planning. In the design of medieval castles, strategic location selection and natural defenses played an integral role in ensuring these formidable structures were nearly impossible to invade. The concept involves choosing sites that naturally enhance a castle's defensive capabilities, such as hilltops, cliffs, or areas surrounded by water. These locations provided a natural advantage that discouraged enemy approach and complicated siege warfare, offering a first line of defense with little need for additional resources. The significance of strategic location selection in castle design cannot be overstated. A well-chosen site could deter potential attackers through the sheer difficulty of access and the exhaustive effort required to mount an assault. By leveraging the natural landscape, castle builders maximize their defensive strength with minimal manpower, allowing their forces to focus on other critical areas of defense and management. This concept directly ties into the broader theme by highlighting one of the core strategies employed to make castles resilient against invasions. A prime example of this is the Alcazaba of Almería in Spain. Perched on a hill, the fortress overlooks the entire city and an expansive coastline, providing unmatched surveillance opportunities and a formidable vantage point against any advancing forces. Similarly, Edinburgh Castle in Scotland sits atop Castle Rock, an ancient volcanic crag that enhances its defensive capabilities with steep, rocky cliffs on three sides, making direct assault nearly impossible. Experts and historians often emphasize the brilliance of using natural defenses as an efficient, enduring strategy. The ancient wisdom of harmonizing man-made structures with natural geography remains a lesson in sustainable architecture and military strategy. However, potential challenges include the difficulty of accessing resources like water and food, as these sites are often isolated. Moreover, if an attacker managed a siege, defenders could find themselves trapped with limited mobility. Despite these challenges, the strategic selection of a castle's location influences other aspects of its design. It dictates the orientation and structure of walls, the placement of towers, and the overall layout, ensuring each element is maximized for defense. Therefore, understanding how natural defenses complement artificial ones provides a holistic view of why medieval castles were daunting strongholds, merging human ingenuity with the natural environment to achieve unparalleled security. This interconnected strategy showcases the medieval mastery of blending architecture with the environment in crafting impregnable fortresses. When we think about medieval castles designed to be impossible to invade, the features of fortifications such as walls, moats, and gatehouses immediately come to mind. These elements were critical components in castle defense architecture, each serving a unique purpose to ensure the stronghold was impregnable. Walls were often the first line of defense, constructed with formidable thickness and height to withstand attacks and deter climbers. They were made from stone or other durable materials, often several meters thick and designed to survive the assault of battering rams, trebuchets, and other siege weapons. Walls were not only physical barriers but psychological ones, meant to intimidate and dissuade potential attackers. Moats, typically filled with water, surrounded the outer walls of a castle, creating a daunting obstacle for invaders. They not only prevented easy access to the castle walls, but also provided an extra layer of defense against tunneling. In some cases, moats were dry and filled with sharp stakes, termed as dry moats, designed to injure or slow down assailants, thus buying time for defenders inside the castle. Gatehouses served as the controlled access point into the castle, often fortified with murder holes, portcullises, and drawbridges. These structures allowed defenders to manage entries and exits meticulously and were often the most heavily guarded part of a castle. In times of attack, a gatehouse could transform into a deadly bottleneck, where invaders found themselves trapped and vulnerable. Historically, the Château de Chenonceau in France and the Tower of London in England are prime examples of the effectiveness of these fortification features. The Château de Chenonceau's moat and fortified walls exemplify how these elements could create a formidable defensive system, while the Tower of London's massive stone walls and multi-layered gatehouse show how intimidating these features could be. However, not all castles were impenetrable, and over time, the development of new technologies and strategies challenged the effectiveness of these structures. For instance, the advent of gunpowder and cannons eventually rendered some traditional fortifications obsolete. Despite these challenges, the integration of walls, moats, and gatehouses laid the groundwork for advanced military architecture. These features influenced other defensive strategies, contributing to modern-day warfare techniques and architectural designs in secure facilities. Overall, walls, moats, and gatehouses were essential in shaping the invulnerability of castles, interlinking to create layers of defense that were difficult to penetrate. These features not only fortified the physical structure, but also symbolized power and dominance in the medieval landscape, leaving a lasting legacy in castle design and military history.